Hello, welcome again to this last week of the course on audio signal processing for music applications. In this week, we are wrapping up the course by talking about some small topics in order to overview some things and to look ahead, to identify topics that you might be interested to explore and to learn more about it after this course. And this is the case of this lecture. I want to introduce Acoustic Brains. It's a brand new initiative developed by the Music Technology Group in collaboration with Music Brains. And so let me tell you about it. Let's go to the website. So this is the front page of Acoustic Brains. We still do not have a logo, but that will come soon. So Acoustic Brains is an initiative that aims to gather analysis data, so data obtained from analyzing music recordings and provided by people. So the aim is to gather as much data as possible so that we can create a repository, a corpus of music data that can be used for many things, can be used mainly for research, but also can be used to explore in different ways. So as you might be aware, one of the difficulties of developing and carrying out research in music-related data is the availability of audio recordings. Audio recordings, because of the copyright issues, are not easily available, and they cannot be gathered and shared in order to do research with. So the alternative of Acoustic Brains has been to crowdsource that, so that we distribute some code, and then people are actually doing the analysis of the audio on their computer, on their collection that they own, and then they upload the resulting data. In order to do that, we need two basic components. One is a way to identify uniquely every recording that the people analyze, and with that have access to all the information of that recording, all the metadata that surrounds that recording. And that component is provided by Music Brains. The other component is the actual analysis, the analyzing the audio and obtaining some audio features with which then we can do interesting things. And that's provided by Essentia, by one extractor of Essentia. Okay, so that's the two basic components of Acoustic Brains as sort of the framework that we're talking about. Let me tell you a little bit more about Acoustic Brains. So, for example, here we see some of the statistics that in a few weeks we have been able to already obtain. We have reached more than 1 million tracks analyzed in just a few weeks. Let me show you the overall statistics. Okay, so here we see the evolution of our collection since we started in the mid-September up until now. And in fact, during this time, we have been putting together the framework and the software. So we didn't have much at the beginning. We had some code that people had to compile. So it was a little bit hard to use. So that was this beginning increase. And now for the past week or so, we have had some pre-compiled binaries that people can run on their computer, so it's much easier to analyze and therefore to obtain data. And this has been this second surge of increase of data. And this top line is the total number of tracks that we have. The light green one is the unique one. So there is a lot of duplicates with different formats, or one is compressed, the other is not. So the unique is also an important number, and that's the one that is currently reaching 800,000. And anyway, so there is different ways to measure which which recordings we have of lossless or lossy quality, etc., etc. So you can get an idea of how this has evolved. So that's pretty good. Okay, then let's talk about the actual two building blocks that we mentioned. The music extractor, the analysis engine that is based on Essentia, and then let's talk about the music brains and how this metadata is gathered. Okay, so let's first go to Essentia. This is the Essentia website, and in it, in the documentation, you can access the pre-made extractors, and one of them is the music extractor. Another one is, for example, the one we mentioned last week, which was the free sound extractor. So the music extractor is an extractor that has been put together in order to extract features, low-level features, that can be used to characterize, describe music. Okay, so that's what it does, and it outputs a JSON file with all the values, the statistics of the values for the whole music track. Okay, and below here you have the list of all the features that have been extracted and that we have now in Acoustic Brains. Then on top of that, there is also some high-level descriptors that are extracted on our server from those level descriptors, and using some machine learning approaches and classification techniques, we assign some labels to these tracks so that they can be useful for some higher level task. Okay, and you can read more about these things. Okay, so this is one of the components of Acoustic Brains. The other component is Music Brains. Okay, so Music Brains is these initiatives that has been going on for quite a while now, that has been gathering metadata about music. So here it says it's like a music encyclopedia that collects music metadata, and then of course it's done in a open type of license, so that all this data is shared by everyone. And so anyway, so this is an excellent initiative, and let's look at some of the statistics, what they have obtained after all this time. So in this page, we see some of the numbers, how much data they have been able to collect. So they have the concept of entities, and these are the core entities. So like artists, or number of releases, or the tracks, or for example the works, the compositions. So for example, they have information about 900,000 artists, or they have information about 17 million tracks. Okay, so this is basically our glass ceiling for Acoustic Brains. We are analyzing tracks that are identified by Music Brains. Every track, every single one of these entities has a unique identifier, so that when we refer to a particular track, a particular artist, we just have to refer to a number, and then that distinguishes that entity, that artist, that track uniquely on every service or every repository that we deal with. So that's a great way to basically organize all the analysis data, so that we have all these entities describing those analysis data. Let me now show you a particular example of an entity and how to basically navigate through that. I want to look for a piano recording of the Goldberg variations played by a pianist. Her name is Kimiko Ishisaka. So let's type Kimiko. Okay, I don't know how to write the last name, so maybe let's just search Kimiko. Okay, and yeah, that's the one that I was looking for. I already looked for it before. So Kimiko Douglas Ishisaka. Okay, and so she's a pianist from Germany, and also originally from Japan. And so we can have some information about her and links to Wikipedia and some extra information. And then we have the recordings in which she's playing. So there is only one, these Goldberg Variations that was published in 2012, okay, by Bach. And there are three versions of these recordings. The one is the digital media and the other is the CD version. So let's maybe look at this one. Okay, and these are all the tracks of these recordings, so all the variations, the Goldberg Variations. And for each one we have quite a bit of information, but what is interesting is that for every one there is a unique identifier. These numbers that appear here are the identifiers of every particular entity. So this is, for example, the release identifier. So in fact, if we look at the details of this actual release, okay, we see the MBIDs, the MusicBrainz identifier for this particular release. Okay, and if we go to one particular of the, for example, let's go to the first variation. Okay, and then again we can look for the detail, and this is the MusicBrainz ID of this particular track of this CD. Let's copy that because I'm going to use now. Okay, so now we have these two ingredients. So in order to be able to contribute to Acoustic Brains, the first thing we have to do is download two things. We have to download the tool that will be able to analyze the acoustic features with Essentia. And so here we would use this apps submit this Linux version of the 64-bit. So I already did that. So I copied, I downloaded that, and I have it in the computer. And the other thing we also need is a tool that MusicBrainz has, which is called MusicBrainz Picard. That's the tool that allows me to add these unique identifiers to a particular recording that we have. Okay, so let's go to this MusicBrainz Picard. And so this is the application I downloaded, and it has this graphical interface. And now what I will do is I just copied the recordings of these Goldberg Variations, and here they are. So I just copied this directory. This is by the way, is a recording that is available under Creative Commons, so you can just download it from online, and that's what I did. I downloaded the MP3 files, so I can open it, and this is what I downloaded, all these files. Okay, and now what I need in these MP3 files, if I click on them, it has quite a bit of information. This is the information available in the header. So this is the original values, the name, the artist, the composer, etc. This is kind of the standard information that you can have even in an MP3 file. But we need more than that. We need these MusicBrainz IDs so that then we can uniquely identify these recordings. So in order to do that, what we will do is first cluster these, and in fact this also should be here, and understand why. Okay, so we cluster all these tracks into one CD, basically in one album. Okay, and now we can try to look at MusicBrainz in order to find all these unique identifiers, and there are several ways to do that. You can try to do this lookup, but this it's trying, but it's not finding it uniquely. There is also a fingerprinting way of accessing that, and you can try to find using that, but it doesn't work either. So what I will do is manually just finding that entry in MusicBrainz that is in fact this one. Okay, so looking up in browser, I can manually go to MusicBrainz and then identify the release that correspond to my recordings. And I looked before, and the one that fits better is this one. So I click here, and now it has added this information in here. So now I have all the right release and metadata information with all the MBIDs here. So it has, for every track, it has the corresponding identifiers. So now what I do is assign my recording to this particular set of metadata, and I accept it. I say save. So this will save all the information I have in the MP3 files. So now within the MP3 files, I have all the MusicBrainz IDs and everything. Okay. Now I have in my system the actual MP3 files with the information, the MBIDs of all the tracks. I also downloaded the analyzer. The analyzer was this apps submit directory here. If I go there, okay, so this is the code that I have downloaded from Acoustic Brains. It has a binary, which is the already compiled, that has the extractor, the music extractor. So it calls this music extractor on whatever file or whatever directory I give it. So now if I am in here, okay, I can just call this binary app submit, okay, and I will call it with the directory of the recordings I have been analyzing. Okay, so this is the directory where I have all the tracks of the Goldberg variation, and then I just click, and this I already had analyzed it a while back, so it already tells me that it has been done. So this it has analyzed every single track, and it has uploaded to Acoustic Brains the analysis data. And now if we go to Acoustic Brains, well, we can then type the ID of the track we have analyzed. So in order to do that, these are the last tracks that have been analyzed. I have to know the MusicBrainz ID of a particular track. So I was looking at one particular track of these Goldberg variations. So, and this is the MusicBrainz ID of this particular track. So if I copy this particular track and then I type it in the Acoustic Brains, and I already did that. So this is Acoustic Brains followed by the MusicBrainz ID of one of the tracks I analyze. So Acoustic Brains displays me the metadata coming from MusicBrainz, or some of it, plus the acoustic data that we have analyzed, some of it again. The complete files are these ones, so we have this low-level data. So for example, we can look at that. So this is the low-level analysis, the JSON file, or there is this high-level data, which is this the data obtained from some training from machine learning analysis. Okay, so all this data is available here. For example, automatically it tells me what is the key of this particular song. In this particular case, it has worked. This particular track is in G major, but in some other cases may not do so well. This is research in progress. These are things that we are doing, and hopefully with this process, this kind of open research type of initiative will get better. And then it knows about some aspects of timbre analysis or tonal analysis, or even some mood. It has attempted to identify some of that. And we use this facility in order to also even attempt to play this recording. If you have an account in, for example, in Spotify or in Deezer or sometimes it finds it in SoundCloud, it attempts from this metadata find this recording, and we can even play it. Okay, so this has opened Spotify, and from my account played is not in fact the same recording, not the same artist, but is the same composition, the Goldberg Variations by Johann Sebastian Bach. Is not the open version that we had, but it's that music. So anyway, so that's pretty good. That's pretty useful. So okay, so that's Acoustic Brains. I could tell you more about it, about the goals, and about, in fact, there is an API that you can access directly all this information. But again, this is just a project that is starting. We are very excited about it, and it would be great if you can contribute or you can benefit from it by using all this data. In fact, you can download all the already analyzed sound. So, for example, here at the very end, you can download the zip file with the low-level descriptors, the high-level descriptors, and we will keep making all this data available as we gather more and more data. Okay, and that's all in terms of references. Acoustic Brains, it's a great site. You can access from this URL. Then Music Brains, which is this website that we are using, this initiative that is very much associated with Acoustic Brains. Then Picard is this software that we use to label, to add the tags, to add the Music Brains IDs to the recordings that you might have in your collection, and this is needed in order that then to run the extractor, this Senti extractor, in particular the music extractor, so that if it has a Music Brains IDs, then it analyzes it and it sends it to Acoustic Brains. And that's all. That's an example of a project that it's a recent project that clearly uses a lot of the things that we have been talking about, analyzing audio, but in a much more complex situation in trying to analyze a lot of music and making sense of large repositories of music. So that's a very interesting initiative. So thank you very much, and I see you next class. Bye-bye.